Cheers.
Boop, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, 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 bop, beep, beep, beep.
You like my shirt?
I like them titties.
Yeah, bro. Hey everybody, welcome to Innerbrews. My name is Brian, and I got a lovely guest here. His name's Sam Thompson, and we are going to rock out today by introducing a Michigan artist while drinking a Michigan brew. And today we are doing a Arbor Brewing Company's Oktoberfest. How we doing today, Sam?
I am doing just fine.
Oh, you're looking just fine, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that.
You got to be the most handsome son of a gun in Ypsilanti.
I appreciate that. I mean,
I'll put up against anybody. I've had some rough dudes on this podcast so far.
some real ugly motherfuckers.
That's apparently true, and apparently you've played with all of them. So let's get started.
All right.
So when did you start playing music? Like what age? Obviously you were in Ypsilanti, so give us the deets.
Yeah. I was probably about 11 years old, maybe 10 or 11, and my dad bought me a like starter kit. It was a Baltic Blue Fender Strat. Yeah. And so it came with a
that was your starter guitar?
It was a Squire. Let me not lie
I was about to say it was a
Squire. I'm not as prestigious as JT with the Fenders.
Yeah, right on. Because when you said starter, I was like, man, my starter was a Walmart.
Come on, man. I'm trying to act like I wasn't poor, man. Come on. So yeah, I got the Squire, and it was Baltic Blue. I still have it today. I started playing because I saw my brother, start playing music when he was probably 16 years old, and so naturally, older brother,
right,
started to play music, and that's what I wanted to do as well. So
hell yeah. What was your first get together project? Did you guys play with friends, or were you just playing by yourself at the point?
Yeah, there was a lot of that was back in the days where Mr. Muggs was the local venue, and so we would go watch people. I would go get ran over in mosh pits as an 11-year-old kid, just get annihilated. And so I started mostly playing music by myself, but then probably Aaron Johnson is the first person that I ever really connected with, and we started playing music together. So.
And did your brother play with you guys, or was
he would show me stuff on guitar every now and again, right? So I did a lot of learning from tablature and stuff like that. But every now and again he would show me. It was really big bonding moments for him and I. But that's really what got me into music.
So what was your first project you were in then? Did it have a name?
I remember recording on this 4-track or whatever. It was a red 4-track. Aaron and I, the first song we ever put together was called Black Solo Man. And it was this really terrible this is really terrible riff, and but it was awesome. That was Aaron and I just recording on this really old. It was new at the time. 4-track, and so that was the first thing we ever did.
So was it you and Aaron growing up together kind of thing?
Yeah, oh yeah. We were always making trouble together, so we got some pretty crazy stories. But yeah, we were always playing music together. We were always going to shows, so that was pretty impactful for us in our childhood.
All right. What was the first band you played a gig in?
For me it was Helen Keller, for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, and it was actually I was ashamed that it had been so long. Other people, Aaron had played in shows in different bands, and I hadn't played a show, and I was ashamed. I was like, man, what's going on? So I didn't play a show for a really long time until I was probably 17 or something like that.
Really? So were you? But you had to have been playing all that time.
I was playing. Yeah, dude,
so when you did your first show, I mean, I could imagine it was a better if you took your time and learned your instrument than jumping in at it what I'm saying, 13 years old doing your first show. I honestly don't even remember what my first show was. I could not even tell you. So
I think that I played okay, maybe.
All right, well, let's jump in with Helen Keller then. Tell me about the guys in the band, how you came up with the name.
That band was super interesting, right? Because it's me, my brother Dustin, Aaron, and Ryan, and then we had some people trickle in and out. Ryan had no business playing with us. He was a far superior musician and had a lot of gear that we just used his gear. But I will say that he's, one of my mentors in music where I remember specifically him saying, be professional. And that was like, we had played with him for a really long time, and we would do like super annoying stuff. Like we're at practice and we're just playing really loud for no reason. Like I would continue to play after we stopped doing the song, and he'd be like, "Oh, stop doing that." And we just did a lot of really shitty stuff. And he's like, "Be professional," and that was a kind of a turning point for me. So
right on. So you and Aaron fucking around during practice.
It's mostly me.
And then here comes Daddy Ryan to tell y'all to cut the shit.
Well, yeah, Dustin did the most fuckery. So if you can imagine. But Dustin also is like, he's got the gift of gab. So like he's the one that got Ryan to play with us. Like they started playing. Him and Aaron started playing with Ryan before. We formed Helen Keller, and I think we tricked Ryan because like I had some like really sweet riffs that like basically I stole from other bands, like, and I didn't, not intentionally, but I learned so many songs. So I had like some really cool riffs, and like so we started playing on those, and then later on he's like, "Damn, I thought you guys were good. Like, what's going on? Like, you guys can't write shit."
So, speaking of Ryan from Crackjog, right?
Yeah.
And he was playing drums?
Yeah, he's a multi-instrumentalist, and he, I think that's why he played with us, because he wanted to play drums for, he was supposed to play drums in Crackjaw, but they ended up getting Dave Miller, who was
far superior?
He's, I mean, at the time, I don't know how much better he was than Ryan, but he's a damn good drummer at this point, right?
Fuck yeah.
So he plays, he's toured with Pop Evil and stuff, like as a fill-in. So great drummer. They really were a really good band. And so it was nice to get some mentorship from those guys, Ian and all of them, right? So they're really good dudes.
Those guys, when I first met those guys, it was kind of like, holy shit, these fuckers are
rock
professionals.
stars,
like, yeah, these are actual rock stars.
Yeah, they did some overseas stuff, like they're really good. And so for us, like Helen Keller, no idea where the name came from. I think either Aaron or Dustin came up with it. And then it just evolved into like, you've got to be deaf, dumb, and blind to like this band, like this music. The name became pretty fitting.
Well, that goes to my second part. I love that fucking band. And
I remember every time I had with that band I remember it very fondly. So it's
you got a favorite song?
Definitely if you're scared, go to church.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, just because of like, well, obviously the sample in it is real tight, right?
Obviously,
and it was just the first song that really caught on with people, and I don't know, I like the song.
So when Aaron was in here, we were talking about a cover song, and I heard you came up with like the ultimate cover song. And it was Akon, right?
Yeah, we did too many covers. Yeah, we just did covers, and I mean, people loved when we did them, and it was fun, whatever. And I mentioned the Akon song. I don't know why, and I don't know why anyone agreed, but we did it.
It's fantastic. It was a banger, man. It was a banger.
We tried to only write bangers.
I believe you succeeded, my friend. You really did. Okay, so let's go into your next band, or I'm pretty sure it was your next band. I'm not too
on
positive.
The timelines.
But Truman was your next band, right?
I hear your name.
Truman was, I believe I was in Truman before I started doing robots. So yeah, Truman, some of the most, the work that I did there and that we've done as a band is like, I'm extremely proud of it. Like,
oh, dude.
So I love that band. We still are together today. The Rona has
slowed down the gigs.
Yeah, kept us from practicing and stuff like that. We were actually going to record our latest effort before kind of coronavirus got real. Shit is getting real.
Shit's real.
That band. it's a next level, like professional, like matured, like
right.
You know,
I mean, you guys got some heavy hitters in that fucking band alone.
Yeah,
like those guys have been in what, multiple bands.
Yeah, and it's guys that you know, throughout the years we've connected along the way. I actually was in the Sleeper Reason for a little bit of time, and so I played with Eric.
I heard
there.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so like before that band disbanded completely, I did a couple gigs with them, played with Eric Hurd, right? And so he's just like the most solid guy out there, solid drummer out there. Like, so getting back with him in Truman is awesome. Him, Zach, and JT were actually basically JT started it as a solo project and then brought on Eric and Zach to fill in the instruments that he you know, couldn't play himself during a show. And you know, they played together for a little bit and then brought me in later on. And so I just put a little razzle dazzle on things. That's
you
what I did.
Certainly fucking did, sir.
So JT is like the mastermind, and then I just do the razzle dazzle.
Hell yeah. And outside of, like, I know JT was doing the almost, I don't want to put him in a box or anything, but like the folk style of music where it was acoustic and where everything surrounding him was heavy metal, like everything in the scene at the time. So, and then all of a sudden here comes Truman, and it was like this escalation of like folk and like that, like almost post-rock kind of sound.
Yeah, I've always had a hard time describing Truman to people, which is awesome. Like, we all love metal music, and so there are elements of that throughout the music.
There's an essence of that in the songs. And like,
so the other guys were coming from Little Island Lake, which was a project where they played folk music.
And that is not Truman.
No, but there's some elements in there of like their songwriting. Like, they're obviously all songwriting together, right? And they were writing folk music, and then so like JT started doing some solo stuff, and what he put together was just awesome. And we've all added flavors to it since then, and so it has evolved into what it is today. So
yeah, when you brought up Little Island Lake, it's like the crew that was in Little Island Lake. I mean, that's the guys in Truman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Minus Bob and Mary,
exactly.
Correct? Yes, and
I was just sitting there, and I was just sitting there, and like when I got to know that you guys were coming on the podcast, I wanted to listen to some more music and just refresh my memory, and diving into Little Island Lake, and was like almost not even shocking, but like another realization. I was like, holy shit, that's Truman.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute.
That's fucking Truman.
See, and then so we're Little Island Lake with a little razzle dazzle.
Right.
I just put a little razzle dazzle. That's all.
So what was your favorite song in Truman? Because I absolutely am fascinated by Slow Burn.
Yeah, that record that we did, or the EP or whatever, it's a 6-songer. I love all those tracks on there. I think Slow Burn probably is my favorite from it because it's so quick to the point, and just like, it's just one of those tasty songs. Like, I think if we put out a 12-song CD with tracks just filled with that track, basically written in different ways, that it would be a phenomenal record. Like, it's I really like the song Slow Burn, but I mean, I like them all.
And you guys just play so well together. It sounds like you guys been playing for like 16 years long. We're at like 8 years or something like that. So like, and all the guys, we're all in the same mindset, right? So that's what's been like, out of any band I've ever been in, like, we are all like pretty much thinking the same thing, and like, we share the same values, and we, you know, we're very professional about it. And Eric Hurd definitely holds us accountable in that regard. He holds us accountable during the set. Like, this dude just get on the stage, play, get off the stage. Yeah, right.
I'm like, all right, yeah.
Hell yeah. And
and you know, Helen Keller, we were showing up to shows like, you just be like, it was unruly. It was
the most beautiful thing about the two difference of the bands was like, I remember when I pretty much first met the crew, it was at a Helen Keller show at the Elbow Room. And your brother got on stage. It was the end of the night. They were shutting stuff down, and everybody was just trying to find a place to just go have a drink, decompress, talk about the night. And thank God I had a 2-story house that was brand new.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, bring them on over. And the entire bar showed up. Like, I was not expecting that.
Like,
I was
wait.
like, all right, the band and a couple of their girlfriends and some of their friends. Nah, like bartenders showed up, owner of Elbow Room sitting in the back. I'm like, what the? I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
So what's the change up process of like, is it drastic or hard to switch from being in such a heavy metal band? Because
man.
Versus going and dropping everything, slowing it down, putting more, I don't know if there's more emotion into the songs that you play now.
Not more emotion, different emotion, but right. I will say so JT and I have known each other for a very long time, right? And we went to high school together. We went to the same elementary school. We went to Erickson.
Get the shit out of
here.
here.
And so we've known each other for a very long time. And I've always known him to be he's not like a rival guitarist, but like that's how it feels when you know somebody when you're that young and you're like, this dude plays guitar.
It's
like,
okay with friendly competitiveness.
Yeah, what song can you play, bro? Like, and so it was really cool to get to play with him. And I will say that like playing in Truman, like yes, I had to slow down. I had to learn to play it a different way. And so it's developed me like no other to play in that band with all those guys are like really good musicians. Mm-hmm. I consider myself a guitarist, not a musician. Because I don't have any training.
You still consider yourself a guitarist and not a musician?
Yeah, dude. I don't like music theory. I'm not super good at it. But I can play the fuck out of a guitar, and that's
right.
That is what it is, right? And so those guys have kind of opened some different doors for me. Like just, and I think about this, it's the same way for me professionally. Like in my career, like I wasn't trained in school to do what I'm doing, but I got in, I worked hard, and I, worked alongside some really incredible people. And, I've learned through immersion. And
gotcha.
So with these guys,
surrounding yourself with great people,
yeah, they're awesome musicians. So yeah, it's rubbed off a lot. Not enough, but
Do you got a favorite gig that you've played with Truman?
All the favorite.
Because I mean, fuck, you guys did port shows.
Yeah, we've done.
At a point,
actually, there was a really awesome.
buttload.
Yeah, well, there's a really awesome port show we did in Midtown Ypsilanti where we were like in an enclosed porch and like people were watching us from outside of the enclosed porch. So it was a little weird, but like that one stands out to me. We did a road trip out to Chicago where we played 2 shows. We went out to Chicago, played, and then we came back and played in Kalamazoo. We played with Lawless Carver on that mini tour, and that's probably been one of the most outstanding kind of shows that we've done.
Damn, that Lawless Carver, shows. That just fucking that shit rang bells.
Man, we haven't heard that name in
forever.
Yeah, we've played with all the awesome Ipsy bands, and so there's
then some. It sounds like
I don't even know how many shows we've played collectively, but
how many albums are out?
We have, I want to say 3. Like JT put out the solo album, then we wrote 2 more together. So yeah. We actually, we have a decent amount of material out.
Absolutely.
So I like the catalog of music that we have.
And tell everybody your site. It's trumanmi.com, right? Is that the website?
We've got it truman3bandcamp.com is really like our
I'm
website
telling you,
currently.
when I dived in to research Truman, you know how hard I had to like scrape. I was looking at old Ipsy metal. I was looking at old Ipsy metal shows at the Field, and I'm finding all this like great material, and it's just like you guys done so much, and it was so hard to get like live shows. You know what I mean?
we don't have a lot of video out there for sure. All of our music is on Spotify though, so you can find it on Spotify.
That's where I jammed out.
Yeah, that I think that's a must. Like in today's like, you got to get it on Spotify. You got to get it on
Spotify.
So yeah, we're out there.
Fuck yeah. Well, let's talk about a band that I've like had their CD in my car since you guys printed it. Let's talk about beforehand. It was called Chasten Revolt.
Oh, yeah.
Before it was Living Like Robots. how did that come together? Like Chasten Revolt itself.
Well, I was actually playing with Tony and Eric. We were trying to put after
Fear Strike Out.
After the Sleeper Reason disbanded, like Eric and I started working together, like just putting some songs together. And then Tony came in, right, and we were kind of bringing some of the guys back together, writing a few songs. And it ultimately, Eric ended up moving to Ohio, so that didn't end up working out. And so I was kind of there. And this is like right around the time, because I actually think that Chasten Revolt happened before Truman, if I'm thinking about it now. So like I was in this time period, and then I started hearing like Brian Davidson is Tony's brother.
Who's Tony?
Tony Davidson is Uncle Tony.
Oh, the GOAT. Yeah, right on.
The GOAT, yeah. Uncle
I've yet
Tony.
to meet this dude, but as soon as I do, I gotta shake that fucker's hand.
Yeah, he's an all right guy.
I mean, I hear good things.
Yeah, I've known him for a very long time as well. Probably since I was 10 or 11, or maybe I was 12.
Oh, that's truly Uncle Tone then.
Yeah, Uncle Tony, man. And so, his brother Brian, he played in A Perfect Failure. So like I grew up watching them play shows, and ultimately this was I heard that Brian was playing with a couple other guys, Kyle and Taylor, and they brought me over to see like, hey, can this guy play with us or whatever. I came over, played with them, and it was just like we formed the band from there. So,
and when did Aaron enter the project?
Like, because we had Sean come in and do vocals, which is actually Sean Fry. Yeah, is actually that's my sister's baby daddy.
Oh,
so we had him come in and do vocals, and he honestly did a really good job. But like, it ended up, I don't know what was going on with him, but he ended up like having like some anger issues, and like I love the guy, but like he stopped coming to practice and stuff, right. And it's like I don't know. He was
dealing with some personal issues.
Yeah, personal issues, whatever it was. And I was big advocate for Aaron, because like I believe Aaron and I need to work on music for the rest of our lives,
for sure.
I had to sell the other guys on Aaron doing vocals.
You had to sell them, really?
Well, so it's like. Yeah, I don't know.
Twisting their arm? What the fuck?
I don't know why. And it was like,
how dare you doubt my boy?
That's what it's like. No, dude, like seriously, like he's real good. And so yeah, when we brought Aaron in, it really did finally feel like a full band, and like we could do whatever we wanted to do. I did vocals in that band, so I did some of the clean singing vocals.
That's the first time I actually like heard you sing. And I was like, oh, where'd you been keeping this hidden talent, you turd?
Yeah. And so that was really the first band where I did some singing, right? Well, really like the only band. And I had a lot of development to do in that area. I'd played guitar since I was 10 or 11 or whatever, but it's
like second nature now, right?
Yeah, no, like singing is like one of the most it's the most unique instrument out there, right?
For sure.
It's an organic thing. It's like you have to be just as in practice, but you also have to worry about vocal health and things like that. And so it was not a natural thing for me, and right. I had to learn how to do it. Like I took a class at WCC, like to a vocal class, like that helped me. It's a whole comfortability thing, like being comfortable with yourself and all this other stuff. So,
hell yeah, I completely agree. Vocals are, I do pour vocals on a band, and the biggest thing I can think of is like every day is different. So my warm ups have to be the exact same. And even like I remember going to school and taking choir classes and stuff like that, and learning all the different tones and basses versus I don't want to act like I know what I'm talking about, but
yeah, there's some training. There's some real training involved.
And in a metal band on top of that, like were you screaming at all?
Not really. Like every now and again, I would like do some ad libs and like
gain chance shit.
Yeah, like that type of stuff. But like I tempted to do the clean vocals. Turned out a lot better in recording than live.
I mean, your guys' CD, talking about recording, that is the most, I feel like that's one of the most well recorded.
I love that
albums
album.
I've heard, like, that came out.
That's probably the most impactful I've ever been on a project, right? Because I was doing guitar and I was singing on it, but like, Brian, like working with him, like Brian is a very special dude. Comes up with like really off the wall, like just the not the complexity of what he does, but like he just really puts out like really thoughtful and thoughtful material and material that grabs you. And then I was able to add some razzle dazzle.
Yeah. Oh, razzle dazzle yourself.
I was razzle dazzle on that stuff too. So like, I've come to understand later in life that I am the razzle dazzle guy. So
I can feel it. I feel the razzle dazzle in the room right now. What about favorite song in the band? You got one?
Castlemania for sure.
Castlemania?
The name.
That's exactly
the name alone,
what Aaron Johnson said.
The name alone is baller. But like in that song, yeah, I've got a solo that I like that I play in that. And then I don't know. I did a lot of the songwriting for that song. It's heavy. It's got different elements to it, like a cool, clean. The choruses are nice, and then it's got like a nice bridge part like that I sing over. And so I don't know. I like that song. So WrestleMania. Cheap whiskey. You got to kiss the old man. You got to kiss old Julius.
What about favorite gig? Did you got a favorite gig that you played in living?
A field show, fire breathing guy on the back of or the top of a 53-foot empty trailer. You couldn't mess again. You couldn't walk a mile. You couldn't bring the smile. It was me like you. Everybody daddy. Today for all your money. What I want for just some people. Yeah. That show, it was lightly drizzling outside. That's probably my favorite show I've ever played. Like that was.
Now was that the double stage show?
No,
or was that...
I don't think that was double stage. It was. No, I think it was single stage.
Was it the massive one?
It was where they did spray painting on the side of the trailer.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
that was a fucking heavy ass show.
That show was so fucking awesome, dude. And it was really, I remember like some of our friends like finally watching us play because Living Like Robots, like we didn't have, and Truman played that show too. I think we played in the afternoon. We played too early. We played in the afternoon. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite show.
Yeah, you're right.
That show was amazing.
How is it doing two different bands, two different gigs in the same goddamn day? It's got to be taxing on you.
No, because all your gear's already there. So it's like, yeah, I'll play again. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
It is like I mean, yeah, it's more than playing one show, But it's same place. All your gear's already there. Like that was an awesome show. And the community put that show together. People showed up for it
in droves.
Yeah,
That
was special, right? Like that's the type of thing that I would want to play that every time. I would play that show every time. So
right on. This beer is absolutely goddamn delicious.
It's not bad.
My deer has pretzels on the sides, and it's delicious. It's not as what I was expecting. It's not like a Sam Adams. You know what I mean?
It's much different than that. Thank you, Arbor Brewing.
All the fucking day. That's delicious. So where do you see the scene now?
Man,
I mean, during Corona, we all know that gigs are
scene gone.
Stop.
Scene gone right now. But I don't know. Honestly, I feel a little bit out of touch, man. I feel a little bit disappointed in myself because like I mentioned my career earlier, and that's what I focused on for the past. I've been working I work in freight forwarding, but it's a Fortune 500 company, and I've put so much time
it
and
demands
dedication.
your attention.
Yeah, right? I mean, there's, I'm working 70 hours a week, and so I haven't been playing music. We did some shows last year.
As Truman?
Yeah, Truman did some shows last year. But I'm not giving it my all. So a little bit disappointed in myself. There are, Ziggy's is a really cool venue right now. So Truman played Ziggy's last year, and it was, I mean, it was awesome. Like, people, anytime we throw a show, like, people come out, and you know, it's a different feeling for me, because like growing up, music is the one thing that kept me disciplined. Like, it's, you know, I was a pretty mischievous child, so like so music really kept me disciplined, and like probably kept me out of jail, maybe.
So since you've not been playing, do you feel like you're going to jail anytime soon?
Yeah, dude. I feel like I'm
idle hands, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I mean, coronavirus.
Talking about Ziggy's though, like that place is a special place, because I mean, I got my pretty much restart in comedy and stand up there, and the guy is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think there's some really core people over there that put that venue together, and they work closely with the community.
100%.
Right. So we have some close friends that are in there all the time setting up shows, right? And yeah, I think it's something special, right? It's across the street from where Mr. Muggs used to be,
right?
It's right. So that's a full circle type thing. But really, like downtown Ypsilanti, they've just redone a bunch of the buildings there, right? Like, I think the city is having a bit of a resurgence.
Oh, for sure.
Coronavirus obviously hurt that, but
I mean, and there's other places like, I mean, Grove here is, you know, I mean, I haven't talked to the guys, but it feels like it's thriving.
Yeah.
This studio is fantastic. The gentlemen that run this place is 100%. Last podcast I was on here, I ended up booking, because I can't tell time worth of shit. So I booked it for 12 a.m.
Oh, no.
and showed up at 12 p.m. like, hey, my code don't work.
Like, what's going on?
And
man?
these guys like had no problem with just switching the time, sending me a new code, getting me in here so I'm not wasting my money. And I'm telling you, they sterilize this place every day. I mean, you can't see it on camera, but we got this big ass plexiglass in front of us. And I mean, I love this place. I'm even though last podcast I called him Groove like 4 or 5 times.
Well, I mean, so like, yeah, we've had some different spaces in Ipsy over the years. Spur comes to mind, right? We, you know, Chaston Revolt, Living Like Robots spent time in Spur. Sleeper Reason was in Spur. Bloodline Calligraphy was in Spur. Like, everybody was in Spur, right? So like now, you know, this place is kind of feeling like a new Spur, right? It's important to have spaces like this for young artists, because like me,
100%.
Me, like, you know, now we're almost 30 years old. I'm almost 30 years old. These other motherfuckers are old ass 30-year-olds,
right?
And we have houses and stuff, so we can play in our houses.
Right.
But you know, young kids, like it's unfathomable for you to own your own house. Like, like I think about when I'm 15, 16, like I said, music was super impactful for me. So like, if I didn't have a space to play, like, you can't play.
Right.
So
you can't fine tune your craft, let out that aggression, and keep you off of the street from doing some probably
unsavory
shady shit. Yeah. So hanging out with some awful people.
Yeah. So no, like I got love for any space that is able to survive like this and support the local scene. So I think that, you know, I think for us, it's time for us to continue to play music. It's time for us to, you know, bring other people along, right? And start to try to provide spaces for people, for younger people to be creative. So,
oh yeah,
spaces, opportunities.
Right. Do you see large crowds coming back to venues again?
Man. Yeah.
That was a very.
It's just there's so much shit that go. Like, I'm conspiracy theorist guy.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah.
Got a fresh one?
No, I just like it's really like this coronavirus thing is like there's been so many other similar viruses to this that have not had this type of impact, right? If you start talking about something that has it's probably less than 0.0. There's probably less than 0.5% of a chance that it's going to kill you, right? And it targets like older people, things like this, right? So it's weird that we're like in a global lockdown for something as it's not insignificant, but something, you know, that is.
It didn't do what we all expected it to do.
People, but I know people. I've lost people to coronavirus. So like I know people who have died from having that. Well, because it complicates other sicknesses. So right? So
pre-existing conditions are just very hard with this.
Yeah, and it's just weird to me that this is the one that shuts down the globe, and also in time with a presidency change,
right?
And
I mean, I feel like the reason it's still hitting so hard right now is because it was poorly handled in the beginning
in the U.S. specifically,
and that's why we see the amount of devastation versus other countries. Like, it hit Italy hard, but like I believe they're leveling out now, whereas we're like still rising.
Yeah, I
mean, it may be minuscule, but it's still rising.
Yeah, America.
Right.
So like, I love my country, but we do a lot of things really incorrectly.
Yeah.
So for music, it really sucks. But I think that like once they come up with a vaccine, like, or whatever, like things will return to normal. People are itching for it. Like,
that's what everybody's been saying.
Yeah, it's at sporting events, music. Like, you start to realize how impactful that stuff is on your life.
Dude, I watched a brief video of a baseball game, and they were throwing like crowd chants, but there was no crowd, so they were just throwing the audio in.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane. This is insane. Like, I do think we'll get back to some normalcy at some point, right? But who knows when? So
100%. Yeah, I'm my fingers are crossed big time.
Yeah.
So it was great talking to you, but we close every Innerbrews with one of the 3 questions involving sex, drugs, or rock and roll. So you can either talk about the first time you lost your virginity. I mean, the only time you lost your virginity.
No, I lost it. You have a beehole virginity as well. So.
You know what? You're right. Worst drug experience, if any, or your most rock star moment ever. And I don't twist anybody's arm. You pick what you want.
I'm going drugs.
Okay. I love drugs.
I'm going drugs.
Stories.
I'm going drugs. I'm going stories. And I'm bringing my brother into this one. And this is really like throughout playing through Helen Keller, there would be like my brother had a drinking problem, and when I was younger, I didn't really realize that he did. I was like, yeah, this is just how he acts all the time.
It's rock star, whatever.
Yeah, it's just how he's at. There's a specific time we were driving to Ryan's house in Southfield to practice, and we like got lost. I'm like 17 years old or some shit. Like, so I wasn't doing drugs. People do drugs when they're 17, 18.
That's true.
I really didn't.
It's not unheard of.
Do anything or drink that much until I was until recently.
Oh, recently? Like yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, the day before yesterday.
6-7 years ago.
Yeah. So we're driving out to Ryan's, and we got lost. My brother got agitated. I don't know. I remember almost getting into a fight with him. He's like, "I'll slash your fucking tires, dude."
What the fuck?
I'm gonna slash your. We're gonna get out. I'm gonna
and
slash
you guys
your
are
tires.
just drunk at this point?
I'm not drunk. He's drunk.
Oh, he's drunk.
And I'm like, that's so counterproductive, bro. You're gonna have to walk. You're gonna have to walk home too, you dumbass. Like, and so we almost got in a fight. I remember another time where him and Ryan got into a fight over at our buddy Art's house, and he ended up telling Ryan, "I'm gonna hit you with a frying pan. I'm gonna bury you under the floorboards of this house." Crazy shit. But
sounds like a very loving guy.
But ultimately, yeah, no, I mention it because it's got a happy ending. Like, he's been sober for some time now. Absolutely, and he just had his first son, and so like I am so proud of him. He's a role model for me. So yeah, that's my drugs are bad, okay?
Drugs are bad, okay? Well, dude, I can't thank you enough for showing up. This was fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody, thank you all for paying attention. If you were, please share, subscribe, be nice to one each other. Love you guys.
Hit them with the razzle dazzle.
Hit them with that razzle dazzle, baby.